stand up for what is right and continue to fight for freedom.
According to an article on Huffington Post entitled "Turning Point Wants to Revolutionize How Republicans Turn Out Voters," some are skeptical. Here's a quick brief point here. Turning Point USA's representatives have made two things clear in meetings with state and local Republican leaders. Donald Trump has blessed their conservative organization to help lead his Get Out the Vote effort, and local party officials ought to use the group's new voter mobilization app. And both prospects terrify fellow Republicans. Folks, this is part of what's wrong with the Trump effort in the last now under 30 days, and it's really been the problem for the last 100 days. It's been their field operations. I mentioned to you before, Kamala Harris, as soon as she joined and became the presumptive nominee of the party and then the official nominee of the party, has opened hundreds of offices in battleground states, and even in states like Texas and Florida, to push the vote totals up there. She has campaign staff in purple districts in those battleground states. She has campaign staff in red districts and red counties to lose by less. She has enlisted a rural politics director to go after rural voters, and she has engaged evangelicals for Harris to go after nominal Christians who are against white nationalist Christianity. She has engaged, as I mentioned before, Republicans for Harris, which are going after white suburban men and women with college educations who have been turned off by MAGA. Harris's campaign has made a play for independents and the middle and for nominal voters to increase her pathways, increase her coalition, increase her big tent to try to get every vote possible, because she knows she's going to win some of these states by 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 votes. And those little outreaches led by David Plouffe, who I told you is a master at targeting and squeezing every vote possible out to win this election. Donald Trump's campaign, on the other hand, has related to just big rallies. He has invested not in campaign offices and voter canvassing. He's invested in voter identification people to try and point out fraud at the polls. That's a strategy not to win on November 5th. That's a strategy to level grievances of fraud and abuse on November 6th and to try to win the election in the courts when you know you don't have the votes to win. This example here of turning over his field operation to Turning Point USA is a further capitulation of not knowing what to do in the field. Their plan, quite simply, is to go after what they think are votes that they're leaving on the field that are part of the MAGA coalition. They want to go after specifically more Christian churchgoers and hunters. People who are already in the MAGA base, and they've squeezed the most out in terms of their turnout. They're doubling down on MAGA. It's what I've been telling you for weeks is going to be happening with this campaign. That instead of opening his tent, instead of canvassing and trying to create a bigger coalition and make inroads where he needs to get the vote, he's doubling down on MAGA. That's why the rhetoric has not changed. That's why it's still MAGA red meat rhetoric of doom and gloom. I am your retribution. You know, now his campaign manager, Lara Trump, has said this is about good versus evil. You know, this is the stuff that's playing, and Turning Point running the campaign is leaving GOP folks like scratching their head. There is no attempt to reach out to independents. There is no attempt to reach back out to the 15% of Ronald Reagan mainstream conservative Republicans who have turned him off and are not turning him back on, who are going over to Harris's campaign. And it's selling an app that is going to benefit people like Charlie Kirk's mother-in-law, who happens to serve on the board of the app makers. This is a grift. And those who are on the field in states like Michigan and other places know it's a grift and are responding in kind. If Donald Trump loses this race, it is because his inability to understand field and understanding how to go get more votes beyond the 45, 46% that he's able to get and that he can only get through MAGA. It is why I am predicting and continue to predict a Kamala Harris shellacking of Donald Trump. It won't be a landslide, but it will be handily done. But tell me what you think. Subscribe, like, and comment below. And please make sure you go to my YouTube channel, @CuriousFormula. Subscribe, like, and comment there. Hit the notification bell, let you know when we go live. We go live every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be there at B Square. Let me just add this last little portion to this conversation here. Donald Trump cannot win on November 5th, less than 30 days out, unless he wins independence. And things like this shows he's not even making a pitch to them. Stay curious and remember, think. It ain't illegal yet.